So today, we're going to dig into why visibility is so important for what might just be the most misunderstood group within the LGBTQ plus community. It's a story all about identity, stigma, and the incredible power of just being seen.
Okay, so here's a fact that might actually surprise you. Bisexual people make up the single largest group in the entire LGBTQ plus community. We're talking about a massive, vibrant, and incredibly diverse population here.
And that brings up a huge question, right? If bi plus people are the majority, then why do they so often feel completely invisible, sometimes even within queer spaces themselves? That's the question we're really going to unpack. To start getting to the answer, let's first get on the same page. Let's talk about one of the key ways the community is fighting back against that invisibility. So, what exactly is Bisexual Visibility Month? And I want to be clear, this is so much more than just a month-long party. It's a really active effort. Every September is dedicated to honoring bi plus identities, and that's an umbrella term that includes people who are bisexual, pansexual, and other similar identities, and to directly take on the erasure and stigma they deal with.
And this isn't something new. It actually has a history, officially kicking off way back in 1999. The entire month is a time for education and celebration, but there's a special spotlight on September 23rd, which is Bi Visibility Day.
And that history really gets to the heart of the issue. The very reason why a whole month dedicated to visibility is so desperately needed in the first place. Let's get into the invisibility problem. So why does visibility matter so much? Well, it really boils down to three huge things. First, it's about fighting erasure. You know, that constant damaging idea that being bi is just a phase. Second, it's about addressing serious health disparities, like the higher rates of anxiety. And third, it's about demanding better representation to finally start dismantling those awful stereotypes that are just allowed to grow in the dark.
And listen, we have to be super clear about this. This isn't some abstract concept. These aren't just hurt feelings. The stigma has real, measurable, and dangerous consequences. It contributes to serious mental health challenges and even higher rates of intimate partner violence.
So a massive part of creating that visibility is just tearing down the myths that cause all that stigma in the first place. It's about looking these stereotypes right in the eye and confronting them head on.
All right, let's tackle the biggest one first. This idea that bi people are just confused or indecisive. The reality couldn't be simpler. Bisexuality is a whole, complete, and totally valid orientation. It's about the capacity to be attracted to more than one gender, not some inability to choose.
Then you've got that really harmful myth that tries to shove bi people into these neat little boxes, saying things like bi men are secretly gay or bi women are actually straight. This stuff completely invalidates who they are, it often leads to fetishization, and it just erases their real lived experience. Okay, this last one is a little more complex, but it's just as damaging. Some people think that the bi in bisexuality locks it into a strict male/female gender binary. But the reality is, the bi plus community has always been inclusive. It's often defined as attraction to multiple genders, which absolutely can and does include non-binary people. All right, so we've seen the problem, we've busted some myths, so what can we actually do about it? Let's talk about some practical steps that can make a real difference. And you know what? It's actually pretty straightforward to get started. Number 1, educate yourself. Read up on the history. 2, share their stories. Amplify bi plus voices. 3, be an active ally. Challenge those myths when you hear them pop up. And 4, show your pride and support. Wave the bi flag, uplift bi creators. When you put it all together, the history, busting the myths, all the support, it's all building toward one incredibly powerful thing. The end goal here is community. Yeah, this is really what it's all about. By pushing for visibility, a space gets created, a vital space, where bi plus people can find each other, where they can share their experiences without being judged, and where they can celebrate the amazing diversity that exists within their own community. It's where they find their strength, and honestly, where they find their joy.
Look, if there is one thing, one crucial thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Visibility saves lives. It fights stigma, and it fosters that deep sense of belonging that every single one of us needs to thrive.
And that leaves us all with one final question. It's not just for some people. It's for every single one of us. How can you help create a world where everyone truly belongs?